No music right now? What about now? Like I said, I'm just playing with the settings and testing the settings. It's funny, I'm watching 3 different screens and there's a lag between it all. A lot of those YouTubers that are doing live streams are making things look pretty damn easy, but okay. So I can cut the music up and down right there. Yeah, Tumo, you're exactly the type person that I'm looking for. And what I want to do is, people like yourself, I really want to just kind of dive into, the individual pieces of marketcipher so that you can better understand it. Also, like other indicators, just how to look at the indicators or the ways that I look at the indicators. There's 90 different ways to do all this. But a lot of times you'll get a lot of mixed signals. That's kind of where I'm going. And then, even simple stuff like TradingView. A lot of people don't know how to add an alert to TradingView, or like, as you can see on my TradingView, there are a bunch of different Bitcoins on there. People don't know how to do that, or they don't know the different types of fibs. They don't know how to use the measuring tools, like your risk to reward measuring tool. So those are some of the things that I really, really want to focus on. And I think on YouTube, especially in live streams and especially in just the TA out there, it's either gloom or doom. And then in the live streams, it's just people. They don't focus on education. Just put it that way. But I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta step away for a minute. All right, I'm back. So let's see. My YouTube's whatever. Let's look at those settings, see what that does. All right, if the music starts overpowering me, let me know or whatnot. But I'm gonna play around with some charting right now. And really something that I was gonna do today was just start with a fresh chart and try to come up with a true bull or bear scenario for the long term. But while I'm doing that charting, you can see how to start from a fresh chart. I'm going to add fresh indicators and kind of go down that road with it. So get rid of this. I don't know why is my OBS? Oh, that's why. Okay. The software was kind of cutting the chart a little bit, but okay. Thank you, Crypto Orange. So as you can see right here, I'm on a monthly chart. It's a brand new chart. It's a fresh chart. No indicators. Sorry, VWAP is on here. But I'm not gonna use that just yet. We all have marketcipher. So obviously to get marketcipher, you would go into your indicators, go to your invite only scripts, and add marketcipher A, marketcipher B, cipher support and resistance. Actually, I'm gonna keep support and resistance off right now, because when you first get it, you gotta go in and change some of the settings. So that's the most basic form of marketcipher right there. And we're on a Bitstamp chart, so it gives us the entire history of marketcipher. Another thing that I always want to have is at least, at the minimum, MACD and RSI. Some people in the past have asked how to add the little panels that I have on the side. Like if you go to this, when I go to this chart here, you'll see that I have all these extra panels on the side, and then marketcipher and price action on the left hand side. So to set up something like that, you would actually come up here to the top and click select layout, and then add whichever style panels that you want. And for this new chart, I'm just going to add 2 panels. No, I'm going to add 3 panels because I want the money flow. You do have to have, I believe, at least a Pro or Pro Plus account to add these extra panels. You don't have to do this, but I wanted to show from the beginning how to set up your chart and break things down. And if anybody's got any questions, just feel free to type them and throw them in there right away. And if anybody wants to put a link out to my YouTube out in general chat, in case there's some new people out there, that even the ones that don't have marketcipher, some of this stuff will help them, but maybe they'll get a chance to see some of the benefits and advantages of having marketcipher also. So whenever you first click that, I mean, it looks like a convoluted mess over here on the right hand side. So what you do is you just maximize your marketcipher. The next step, so that you can get a good look at money flow, is to customize your marketcipher by removing everything but money flow. All right, so now that I've done that, I have money flow in this screen. Here's another thing. If you change the size of money flow, it's out of balance, whatever, if you just double click right there in that bar, no matter how you spread it, it'll grow and be on auto. So then you want to add MACD. or RSI. I'm going to add RSI right here. So make sure that whichever pane that you want to add the indicator to is highlighted by this blue. Okay, as long as that's highlighted blue, then you can come up here to your indicators, and right there I'm going to add Crown's new RSI, which is RSI and or ampersand sign EMA base. You see this RSI and EMA with reverse calculator panel pig. All right, so now I have that in there, and I'm actually going to remove marketcipher B from that one. Double click. Now you've got RSI. Now the cool thing about this RSI is it can tell you, you can set a price to what's the 40 RSI, or you can watch all these other RSIs. Also, if your candles are Heikin-Ashi, you need to make sure that they're Heikin. It won't sync your candles, so you just need to make sure. Hey, welcome back, Chunk. I still ain't been asleep, but like I said, I was trying to add in a few things. I added in a subscription bot, as well as the chat box off to the side, which I'm pretty sure y'all can see the chat box. So that way, if you want to go theater mode or full screen or whatever, you have a way to see the chat. I mean, it's kind of the only thing I hate about chat boxes is them blocking the view. So I need to work on making it disappear after a certain amount of time. Maybe I can make it smaller. Let me try that real quick. Let's see. If I end up doing something that doesn't work right, let's see. Got to click that, and then I got to do that. This should shrink the chat box down. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try that, and that'll shrink it down to about the last four or five things that somebody said. Another reason I put it on there was I noticed on the last video I did, the chat replay wasn't there. So maybe play around with it some. We'll see how it'll all come out. Okay, so that's how I add RSI. Customizations that I personally do on this RSI. Background color. I'm gonna end up changing this other background color. Actually, we'll do that gray right there, maybe. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the second black. So we'll do that in inputs. On inputs, the entered RSI, I just change that to 80 so that number goes up to the top. You could also change it to 20 so it's down at the bottom, but now you can see how that bounced up to the top. Yeah, it's an EMA zoned. I haven't really compared it side to side with regular RSI, but I've been using the zoned RSI for about the past 4 or 5 months, and I really like it better because it has the zones on it. They're already there. I can't. Oh, somebody just subscribed. I don't have that up on my other screen, so I don't know. What else was I getting ready to do? Oh, the panel offset. So if you notice, the panel's way off to the side right now, and you can't see it. I think 25 is the setting that I like on the panel offset. and that kind of brings it the prices a little closer, or where all these boxes are a little bit closer. Let's see. I'm gonna go with. You just have to find what works for you. Let's try 20. Yeah, I can live with 20. No. Yeah. Actually, I'll go back to 25. I can move things around. I still gotta sync everything. And yeah, I am trying to put in the effort. So, all right, that's at 20. Yeah, and then the third one for MACD, I'm just gonna use a basic MACD instead of the other one that I have, because that's probably what a lot of people are gonna put in the other one. Actually, I don't even know if I can find the other one. Let me see. Multiple time frame. Let's see. Sure, I got it favored, but I don't know where it is. I just saw a CM. What was it? CM pivot points. But anyway, I'll just put in regular MACD. That's what most people will end up using. But I may make a quick customization to that. But, all right. So here's the next step of setting up the multiple screens. If you, actually, I'll go up here in a minute, Chunk. I'll go up there and I'll put the regular RSI on so I can look at it compared to the other one. But if you notice, I'm in this bottom MACD screen and moving it around and nothing moves. If you go up here and you sync your symbol, your interval, and your time, and as well as your drawings, just sync everything. Now, whenever you click somewhere on a chart, if you notice that the indicators will bounce around. Okay. Also, now your lines are somewhat close. Let's go ahead, regular RSI on this one. All right, there's regular RSI. Yeah. Oh, you had that big peak over 100. You have to look at it on a lower time frame. And get it spread out so it kind of looks the same. 11th, 19th. I'd have to move it off to the side here a little bit. All right, obviously the two major differences are, as you can see, Crowns has a zone on it. Kinda. If you go and watch Crown's videos, he'll tell you that there's no such thing as overbought and oversold, and I'll show you where he talks about that at. But what the zones represent is, this represents a bullish control zone at the top and a bearish control zone at the bottom. Okay. Overbought and oversold is kind of a terminology that a lot of people use, but it's better to say maybe overextended. or that, it's getting to its outer reaches. But what I've also noticed on Crown's RSI is that you can see the RSI go from the bullish zone to the bearish zone to the bullish zone, and it's a way to follow it. Plus, there is an EMA in here that gives you a trend of the RSI. As far as the way the RSI moves, you can see that the movements in this are a little bit sharper. But overall, it's pretty much the same thing. But I also do like in this new Crown RSI that Pig made, that it tells you for the RSI to cross down over the CMA, you got to go to 94.56. Oh, here's another setting I do on this RSI. Like 70-30 is what most people use. I change it to, I think, like 73 and 28 or 27. Because RSI typically tends to go past 70 and 30 all the time. You can make it 75 and 25 just to kind of know what the outer reaches of price are compared to where the RSI is. So on the daily, for the RSI to go into the overbought levels to get up there, it would have to be at 10,555. And for it to get to the oversold levels on the daily, it would have to go to 7,000. So with RSI trending down right now, this just might be our long-term target. Unless this is a rejection off the bearish control zone and it's going up. So it's just so much here that I like. And that's why I use that RSI. Now, one of the main crypto YouTubers out there, he says the number one question he gets is, how do you remove the grid lines? I don't like the grid lines, so I'm going to go ahead and remove the grid lines real quick. Like, I'm trying to start on a fresh chart, basic, from the beginning. This one's the streams, 49, a whole lot of the time was just me doing a lot of tests and stuff like that. So if you left click on your chart, or you come up here to the top, we'll just do it this way. You can left click on your chart, or you can come up here to the top and click more and go to settings. Then it brings this up. Symbol, let's go to appearance. Like I said, I was going to change the background. Okay, I changed it to the second gray right here. Vertical grid lines, I'm just going to change it to that same color. Horizontal grid lines, change it to that same color. Now all the grid lines are gone. I'm going to do that on each chart. While I'm doing this, if anybody else has any other questions, just feel free to throw them out there. Like I said, I'm really wanting to go with a 101 approach on a lot of things. So no question is too basic. What am I trying to do? Settings. All right, that's there. We got going on here. Want to make sure all these charts are on auto. log. That one on log. Okay, they're all on log. All on auto, and they're all on log. All right. All right. So that's one of the most basic forms of chart setup. Now, since you have RSI over here, you can get rid of RSI over here if you want to, which I'm going to get rid of. At a minimum. Money flow, VWAP. That's going to clean up marketcipher B a little bit. It is your option whether or not you want to leave the money flow on here. I generally do leave it on there, but something that I do is make sure, yeah, it's at 50% here. I turn the thickness down too. I prefer the one that I had on last night. Just because RSI is in the bullish control zone doesn't necessarily mean to only look for longs. But if it's in the bullish control zone or heading into the bullish control zone, you're probably better off looking for longs. Because chances are, until it gets up to that 80, it's not going to come down. No, ask the questions, Chunk. I want you to. Because if people don't ask the questions, then one, either I don't know the answer and I need to go figure it out, or two, somebody else might not have thought to ask the question. You go, oh yeah, that's a good question. So, like I said, I do turn down the money flow color to make the money flow a little more transparent. Actually, I think I like to make it like 30. That way when a wave starts cutting up through it, I can see it. VWAP, or as Crypt Dude was talking last night, volume flow is actually what it is. But it's labeled as VWAP on here, so I tend to, for the purposes of all this. All right. So you click over here on price, or let's say when you move this chart, now you can see that all your indicators over here move along with it. And I'll show you something here on RSI here in a minute. And that regular RSI, or was it on the regular or was it on the zone? I think it's on the zone. But a fast way to get them all back is click there and then click outside of edge of one of your indicators, and then you can move them around and get them reset. Money flow, you know how CryptoFace likes to squinch price and money together so you can see what money flow is doing? You could take this one and do the same thing and set it like that, and then you'll always be able to see it. What's price doing anyway? Yeah. But we're still coming down even from last night, which I thought we would. We got a little spike right there. It's still holding above VWAP though. But I wasn't worried about it coming up too much. Interesting. We'll have to see what happens. Not that chart. All right. So you've asked about RSI a couple times, and the example that Crown uses about this RSI, or about RSI in general, turn marketcipher A off, is out here on the daily chart. let's see, 2018. When is this? December 2018. Should be 2017. Oh, the run up in 2017. That's why I'm not. Yeah, December 2018 was the bottom. Okay, so the 20K run. If you were looking at just RSI and you were trying to short as soon as you hit the 70 area, okay, or you shorted every time it was at 70. So 70, I'm gonna put a line on this chart. So why do I have everything hidden? Let's see, on this chart, I'm gonna clear everything off. So let's say you were just playing the 70. As you can see, the bullish control zone don't start until 65. And if you were trying to play 70s, and you know what, as a matter of fact, I'll put the regular RSI up and do the same thing. So here's regular RSI, here's the 70 zone. And if you look at this bull run, if you tried to short every time it was at 70, okay, so let's say you tried to short just because it was 70 here, you would have missed all of that running up to there, which was this little spike right here. How much was that? Turn the magnet off. 40%. And then get rid of that. You know, then you got, let's see, which one was that? That was this one. So then it comes back down into the 30s, then it rises back up again. And if you tried to short at 70 just because you think that it's overbought, you can, if you look at the price action there on the left hand side, price actually goes from here to here as RSI is rising. Oh, I didn't want to hit that. These tools over here. So what was that? From here to here is another 24%. And it keeps happening all the way up. If you kind of look at these RSIs, even on this one, it's over 80. And if you just try to short just because it's over 80, what you really want to see is the peak, and you want to see it start coming back down. But we were in a bull market here, so it got up into the bullish control zone. Now, if you longed down here at the bottom of the bullish control zone and rode this all the way up to the 80, you would have caught, or rode this all the way up to 92, you would have caught the whole thing. Does that make sense, Chomp? All right. I mean, I can go over 5 or 10 more examples. But the end of the bull run was really a good example of it. Let's see. Where's it at on the RSI? Click this and get our. All right. So here was the dip. It popped up. It came back down. And as soon as this right here is 70. So from basically this area right here to the top of the bull run was another 131%. That's why it's really hard to just call it overbought and oversold. Better to say this is where the bulls have control and have power. This is where the bears have control and have power. And this is a neutral zone. So on MACD, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can leave these bars on here, the histograms. Something that I prefer, once again, it's all a matter of personal preference, but just showing you different ways that you can customize things. I prefer to make it an area. Make it smoother, kind of cut out the noise. You can even change the different colors. So, you know, let's say where that light pink is, you want to make that a color heading into green. Let's make it a light green, because you know price is going to be going up. And then let's make the top green a darker green. So you can see the transition, and then do the same thing with the white area. Let's maybe make it a pinkish color, and then make the red a darker red. So you can kind of see the different transitions in the MACD. Yeah, it's very true. It doesn't mean that it's all RSI is an indicator. It's indicating to you that price is going to go into an area. Do bots and algorithms look at it? Yeah. But if you think of it from, say, a whale's perspective, or, you know, how can I get the average guy? How can I get their money? You know, if they know that you're going to long when the RSI is at 30, it would make sense for them just to drop a ton of money into a short and make it go down to 25 or 20 and get you stopped out or liquidated. And that's why your stop losses are so important. So then the signal lines. No, wrong signal line. I want the top one to be green. Let's make this one red. Just because the signal line's going up doesn't mean that price is going to go up. As you can see, the signal line was still going up as the MACD was coming down here. So
violent crimes.
that's, you know, overall that's why I like the zone RSI. It just marks out the zones for you. You leave everything pretty much default. Change a couple little settings in it so you can see your prices the way that you want to see your prices. It's free. The BA RSI EMA, if you go into indicators, and I don't know, it might depend on your TradingView account, but you have to type in caps. I don't know if it'll work. Let's see if it'll work in lowercase. RSI ampersand, or the and sign, or right above your 7, EMA, and space. See, it doesn't show up that way. You got to have the caps. RSI and EMA space. And then it shows up. The second one is from Bali-Pour.
It's a matter of who.
And welcome to the stream, Who Dat. You still ain't a Who Dat.
Unthinkable acts.
Now on market cipher A. On market cipher A. I mean, to me, everything here has a purpose, but for me, I just like to keep the stuff that's important. So, market cipher A, I turn a lot of stuff off. Turn off the pivot high and pivot low. The ribbons, I personally use the ribbons. Ribbons 1, 2, and 9. Ribbon 1, the top color, I'm going to make red instead of gray. And this, I'm going to make green. And I end up changing some thicknesses also. I'll get that. I'll get to that in a minute.
You wonder what could possess a person to do such terrible things. But it's not a matter of what.
It's all good, brother. Like I said, I want it to be somewhere where y'all can learn the little stuff that I know, but you can also ask questions. And I don't know if you watched my why did I make this channel thing, but what I want is people to ask me questions even if I don't know the answer, because that's going to inspire me to go find the answer, and I can learn from y'all also. Ribbon 9, leave yellow. I make it about 50% and change it thick. The yellow diamonds, you can use those to kind of identify a trend, but if you're using Heikin-Ashi candles, you can already see that. Maybe we'll go through that a little more later. The blue triangle is just a reversal of trend, and it's usually halfway up. So I don't use those either. I don't use the green dot, but I do watch for the red X's. I watch for the red X's, the blood diamonds, and you get rid of the plots. And if you go out here to outputs, show ribbon 1, show ribbon 2, turn off 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are just my settings. Don't have to use these settings, but this is what I personally like. And I'll show you why. All right, so we're on a daily chart right now. And if you look, let's say you took a long when this ribbon turned green back here. This number 1 ribbon turned green, and you took the long back here, and you held the long just because ribbon 2 has never changed on you. I want to say it was a 30 or 40% ride in price over the course of a month and a half. One, 2, and 9, because I don't want too much in there. Ribbon 9, if you look in the settings, ribbon 9 is a 20. This 21. This stands for an EMA. So it's basically a 21 EMA, and usually you will ride the 21 EMA. Once you break the 21 EMA, then why'd you take your message away? But once you break the 21 EMA, chances are price is going to start reversing on you. But those are just the ones that I've found for kind of playing this ribbon strategy, which I'll go over this more in detail. As a matter of fact, I have back here, I have a chart. Which one is it? Let's see, I think it's this chart. No, maybe it's that one. Yeah, this chart here. 6-hour. Let's go down to a 3-hour time frame. Turn off support and resistance, and we'll turn on marketcipher A. I'll leave this chart up for a minute. And if anybody wants to go full screen and screenshot it, you can kind of see what my thoughts are on that. And like I've said before, these ribbons are really good for maybe doing swing trades, or if you get into a trade and you're scared to hold on to the trade, or you don't know if you should stay in it or not. I mean, especially if you get in right at the bottom of the ribbon, right when it crosses the yellow. I mean, this is a perfect spot. Whenever that yellow line crosses price action almost horizontally, there's a lot of power in whatever's about to happen. Whenever it's going sideways like this and price is going sideways, not so much. But you can see price drop down, then it shot up past it. It was a good long opportunity right there. And it works exactly the same in shorts. And I'll go and show you a spot here in a minute after y'all see some of that chart. Everybody kind of got a copy of that, or message me in Discord and I'll send you a screen clip of that chart. That's my strategy for kind of playing. As a matter of fact, look right here. Price came down past the ribbon. And let me zoom in. Like, I use ribbon number 1 as an entry point. I mean, and this works really good on 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, 6-hour time frames. But if you went into a short right here on ribbon 1, also, generally it happens to be around where the red X is or just before it. But if you went into a short right here on ribbon 1, you could have rode that short down here. And even if you didn't get out till it changed colors, that's 10%. So at 10X, it'd be a 100% trade. So if you had $100 in the trade, as far as your margin goes, you would have made $200. If you were at 10X. Okay, enter a short somewhere in here and put your stop loss up here. But you definitely want to use a calculator of some sort that is going to help you determine how many contracts you have based off of your portfolio and your risk tolerance. And I'll get into that in some later streams. So anyway, that's the basics on how I set up my full charts. And I know this whole bull bear thing, I'm still bearish. The only thing that's against me is money flow. But I just see reasons to be bearish. But I'm gonna go through and make some charts, and then probably just do a video a little bit later and post it out. Because what I'm thinking about doing is going through and trying to find every divergence there is. Like right here on the daily, if you look at marketcipher B, well, let's look at this one real quick. We'll look at RSI and marketcipher B. Take a line and you go that way. Take a line. Oh, that's not what I want. All right, here's another setting. If you right click over your setting areas, I'll move that line in a minute. Or if you go to these three bars, you right click over setting areas, you can get rid of the show indicator values and get rid of all those values in there if you don't want them. Sometimes they get in the way. They were just getting in my way. Okay, so you run a line across that, and I don't think this wave's going to come up much higher. Even though money flow is positive, I honestly believe that this wave is not going to come up much more. And the reason I believe that at this point in time is because the volume flow is heading down. Speaking of volume, look, see? Volume bars are headed down. Volume bars are headed down. That's what this is right here. Is it shows you volume. So you don't have to have your volume up here. So that right there, oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I just did that wrong. Bearish divergence you have to measure from the top. A lot of people would call that bearish divergence because this is going down and this is going up. If you measure divergence, full divergence, you have to measure, let's see. It's not really a good chart of it or whatnot. Bullish divergence you have to measure from the top of price action. Where was that? I think there's a little up is the 6 hour green dot. All right, I'll go to the 6 hour. There may be some short term upside. What, this right here? That green dot's going to do nothing but fake you out. So you can look at too many time frames. I posted in Discord, as a matter of fact, all the VWAPs or volume flows, which way they're going. And yes, the 6 hour one here is headed to the upside, but your MACD is also headed to the downside. And what I said last night is I think we're going to get into a little chop like this, where money flow is bouncing up and down on this time frame. This is just my personal opinion, and it's looking like our weakness is, get this kind of where you can see our peak on price on RSI was the end of that run, and it came down and it got rejected by the top of the bullish control zone, came down to the bearish control zone. It's been rejected by the bullish control zone 1, 2, might even count that 3, 4, 5 times. Is it going up here to get rejected again, or is it going to go up? Hey Carl, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. But these little green dots, all they are, and actually it's easier to call them green Skittles, because this down here, the larger green dot, that green one down there is a green dot. This is a green Skittle. The red Skittle means that volume flow, or VWAP, is crossing to the downside. Green one means that volume flow, or VWAP, is crossing to the upside. These can kill you if money flow is high. And I would say where it gets me is when money flow is, like, let's say money flow is cruising down, and it's somewhere in this 15 area. I got to look at it a little closer, but somewhere above 10 or 15, if one of these pops up, you'll get price action that's just as strong as what came down. And the same is true on the red side of it. Let's see if I can see it real quick. Yeah, that one wasn't, that little one wasn't as bad. But a lot of times whenever you get these little humps on the edge of money flow, when it gets close to crossing the zero line, have always been worse off on me than regular, than like this one right here. If that makes any sense. What was I getting ready? Oh, bullish divergence. If you were looking for true bullish divergence, you would measure it from the bottom, and price action would have to create a lower low. So there is no bullish divergence right here at all. And that's something that I wanted to do today, was kind of really look and see if I can't find any bullish divergence. So the first thing for you to have bullish divergence is you have to have a lower low on price action, and that's up on the 6 hours. So let's go out to the weekly. You can take my extension off on the line. Double click the line, it pulls it up. You can turn the extend right off, and now you just got a straight line. All right. So for us to have bullish divergence, price action is going to have some kind of angle like that. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to get rid of the line. There's another little tool over here called a trend angle tool. We're just going to use this. We're going to say like this just to remind us. And we're going to color it green for bull. So if I find bullish divergence, we're going to leave it there. I like bright colors. All right. So out here on the weekly, okay, we have a chance for somewhere to have bullish divergence between those two spots. Now for us to copy, paste. Now the other side to the bullish divergence that we would need on our indicator is something like that. So you would see price pinching together. And I'll be the first to admit I suck at divergences. And it has to be from the bottom. So yes, we did have some bullish divergence right here on the weekly time frame that pushed us up from 3,800 or from 3,850. Okay, we had an anchor trigger, but we also had bullish divergence that pushed us up to where we are now. Yeah, I added them in that way. If I have dead air, there's something there. I got it turned down low enough for me, and I hope, I some of the people earlier said it wasn't too loud. It's called dark monkey music. It's what Crypto Face always plays. So the question is, now that we've had this pump up, is that bullish divergence on the weekly played out? So let's see what's on the 2 week. We've already had a lower wave there. I mean, I guess you can argue the case that there's bullish divergence. No, you can't go back to this wave for it, because if you look, this was already a low. So from here to here, we don't have any bullish divergence. Let's look from this other low here. This is just continuation. Okay, so I don't see any bullish divergence on the 2 week. I don't see any on the monthly, measuring from the bottom. So where did my measuring tools go? They disappeared on me. Oh, stay on the screen. All right, so weekly one, the weekly one, I personally believe that that's already played out. 2 day. Today we don't have anything to go off. There was no lower low on the 2 day. Let's look at the daily. Bullish divergence from the bottom. We don't have a lower low on the daily. Where did I see that earlier? I'm getting myself lost now. Now there is okay. There is what's called hidden bullish divergence right here. This would be hidden bullish divergence. But we've also had a price pump afterwards. So to me, I personally think that hidden bullish divergence is played out. And this is just looking at marketcipher. I mean, got to look at RSI also. I'm going to go back and do that on a different stream, or on a different video that I'm going to upload. So, need lower. Hour, 3 hour. Measuring from the bottom here on the 3 hour, there is some bullish divergence. Okay, no, it's not. Will light. 90 minutes. Yeah, I could argue for hidden bullish divergence on this. You look at those spots. That's hidden bullish divergence right there. We did get a price pump. And I think that this RSI is probably going to keep cruising down. That's just my personal belief based on what I've seen from it, because more often than not with this RSI, you go all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top. Every once in a while you get somewhere here that fakes you out, but this is how you know that it's going to fake you out. You see how it double bottomed right here? And I'll show you what happened in price action right there. What you delete? I almost saw it. What were you asking me? Asking about the hidden bullish? So anyway, for divergences, and I've got the one document, and I don't think it'll come up on this screen. How can I do that? It won't come up on the screen because I've got it set to only show the browser. I'd have to put it out in my Google Docs to be able to show the oh, that's the one you were talking about last night? Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm not the greatest in the world with divergences. Now there is a divergence spotter for Cypher. Let's see, where's it at? marketcipher B overlay. Is that it? No, that was something somebody else wrote. Cypher. Do it this way. I don't totally trust it because I just don't like the way that it shows them. Let's see, source code, settings, urgent spotter. That's object tree visual order. Divergence spotter. Let's see if I can get it to pop up. I mean, some of them it see. Divergence for me, let's see, divergence spotter, MCB. I'll have to find that later. Yeah, I have it on this particular one, as you can see. What is showing up. But see, this is the stuff that I don't trust when it does this, when it goes from way up here on the wave to way down here. So that's why I don't really use it, because I don't trust its signal enough. Now, is it working decent right here? Yeah. But when it's cutting across a wave like this, I don't like it. Maybe it's some of the settings, using the wicks, or using the trigger line, or changing some of these settings or whatnot that I might have to change to make it work better. Yeah, that's what I think that's what I searched for. I found it in the pin section of I want to say the swing room, where I was looking through the chats and somebody was talking about it. So, well, let's get rid of my drawing tools. Let's get rid of marketcipher A. Let me just look this way and see what it says, and see if there's any divergences in it, and make my life a lot easier. All right. So nothing there. And then see here's a perfect example. Okay, you got a green line, and price action is continuing in this direction. So how can I trust that? I can't, personally. Yeah, I mean, I just can't. I can't trust that line whenever it's doing that. So you kind of have to filter those out. All right, let's see, weekly. And then it's only catching divergences from, and see, I can't call that one a bearish divergence either. Is it a hidden? It can't be a hidden bearish. Settings, that this is supposed to be hidden bearish. My alarm to wake up. Is this legit? Bearish divergences are measured from the top. I mean, we've already had the down act. It's an anchor trigger, so it would be bearish. The price would have to be going up, which it did. Price went up, it created a bearish divergence, and we already had a drop there. So once we've had a drop and price started coming back up, I'll say that's played out on the daily. Price has already dropped on the 12-hour, and price has already came back up. So that one, to me, is played out. Once again, these are just more bearish divergences. It's not showing any bullish divergences. 3-hour. I just can't. I mean, going halfway across the wave, I can't trust it. From the top of this wave to the bottom of this wave, it's trying to say hidden bullish divergence from here to here, I guess. And maybe it's just because this wave never came beneath the zero line. 90-minute. There's nothing new since this particular bearish one. There's no new divergence to do anything with price. Nothing there. And I used to only look at the 90-minute, the 6-hour, and the daily charts for the most part. And then I started thinking that those were a little bit too spread out. So now, really what I'm doing, if you look, all my time frames are multiples of 2, basically. 90 minutes times 2 actually equals 3 hours. 3 hours times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 2 is daily, then 2 days. It does skip right here on the week, but I don't think a lot of people use like a 3-day or a 4-day or anything like that. Then I went to the 2-week, and then I went to the month. And I think that, for me personally, that's more than enough time frames. So I kind of accomplished that goal. Really, I don't see any divergences unless some are showing up in RSI, which we can go back and look at that. And that's what we need for price to do something, is it's got to pick a direction, go one way or another. All right, I'd marketcipher A on that. So let's look forward in price, and I'm gonna focus, since I'm bearish and since I'm short, I'm really gonna focus in on bullish divergences, because that's what's going to invalidate my trades that I'm in. And I think we were already out here, but this time instead of using marketcipher B, I'm going to use RSI. Let's see. I'm going to copy that. We're going to paste it over here. Okay, yeah, pop down over here. All right, so for us to have just regular bullish divergence, we have to measure it from the bottom, and it has to be in this angle. And we can come back and look for, okay, so here's the monthly, and price would have to go to a lower low from wherever the spot is. So here on the monthly, there's no bullish divergence. Okay. Let me look for hidden. For hidden, you're going to need price would have to be the opposite way. So for hidden bullish, it would have to look like bearish divergence, but from the bottom of price action. Whenever price goes the exact same direction as the oscillator, there's obviously no divergence. Just continuation, I guess you can call it. Two week. All right. So from that spot to that spot. Oh. Need price going down, which we don't have. But once again, didn't get price going down, so we don't have. Got price going up. The only other side to it, looking up at the chart, is if price went up and the trend angle could come down. But I don't see any there. I mean, I'm literally trying to invalidate my trade, or my thoughts, or my trade thoughts. Just kind of showing y'all how I look at things. Now that we're coming down to a smaller time frame, I'm going to look, because this is way back. This is way back in early February. I'm gonna tighten it up just a little bit. Okay, so we're right there. This is our two peaks. So the trend angles are going exactly the same direction. We do have our lower low, which is what we needed to get bullish divergence, but we don't have a higher low. I'm sorry. Yeah, we needed that, but we don't have a higher low on RSI, or even at flat. It can be flat also. So both the lines are pointing the same direction. And every time I'm looking back up at the chart, so I'm sorry if I sound like I'm kind of fast backwards on it. I just want to make sure the mango though. And as you can see, as we zoom in on times, it changes around where the RSI is. So you have to look at your different points. All right. So that was our low. And we haven't really can't do it that way. There was possibly bullish divergence from those spots. Where was this? That right there, okay, that right there would have been, no, it wouldn't have been any bullish divergence. Pop price up. You need price doing this while this is going down. Once again, price is going this way, RSI is going this way. So there's no divergence. That's on the 2-day. Let's drop down to the daily. All right. Got a low, price is still going this way. Measuring it all from the bottom. If I see a place where some hidden bullish pops in, then the lines are going the same direction. All right, so we're enhancing 12 hour. I'm going to start bringing this line shorter so that I think this was enough of a move personally to possibly give us something. I think it played out already. Okay, so from there to there, all right, that right there is hidden bullish divergence. Yeah, when they go the same way, it's what people call it convergence. Convergence really that's what MACD is moving average convergence divergence. Convergence is when these lines come together. And that's all MACD is reading is when these signal lines come together. These are almost like EMAs, really. But that right there, that picture right there, as a matter of fact, you know what? I didn't even think about it, but I can do this too. Here's the other cool thing when you have all these three indicators like this, and I just thought about it. Instead of trying to look across to this chart and look across to this chart, if you go ahead and full screen that one, and double click it, now you've got another fresh chart up there. So let's turn marketcipher A off on that one. So literally by doing that, you can have 4 different charts looking at things different ways. So if you wanted to do all these convergence divergences on one chart off to the side with the RSI, like I said, I didn't even think about it. that are trying to look sideways to sideways. Yeah, generally it may mean trend continuation. And from my understanding of divergences, you're going to go in a specific direction until you set a divergence for it to go in the opposite direction. It won't change direction without some sort of divergence, as far as I know. Now, that doesn't mean that a whale can't come and drop a bomb on you. That's just my understanding of it. What am I looking for? I want to clone this line. Oh, that don't work. I didn't want to clone it. Delete it. I want to copy it. And paste it. Where'd you go? Oh, come on. Good. I don't know where it went. All right. So like I said, this price action right here was bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence. And the reason it's hidden is because, you know, it's spreading open. Now I also have a chart that shows the classes of divergence. There's class A, B, and C divergence, and I think hidden falls under class C, which is one of the weaker divergences. All right, so let's drop down to a 6 hour. I think that's played out, personally. Maybe that's my bear goggles, but all right. So here on the 6 hour, I'm gonna go from here to here. Oh, this RSI doesn't help me any on this. Yeah, that was hidden bullish divergence also on the 6 hour that played out here over the weekend. But to get this to change around, let's see. Okay, look at this. Bearish divergence is from the top. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to copy it. And it's over a, no, I want to clone it. There's that. I'm going to change color to red. Okay. And then we're going to clone this one. We're going to go right here. Come across that double top. And as you can see, it's opening up. We're going to change it to red. So there's bearish divergence on the 6 hour, and I wasn't even looking for it, but it just jumped out at me. That actually falls under on the chart. Look, I mean, it's a perfect weak bearish divergence. So this little bounce down might be it playing out, but it's a perfect example of weak bearish divergence. All right, let's drop down to the 3 hour, see what we see. Now, Crown always wants to see something over a 4 hour, but I mean, I'll look. This right here was perfect well, not perfect. This is an example of weak bullish divergence. But we've already had price rise since then. And here on the 3 hour, the bearish divergence is more pronounced. I wish that color was darker on that one. I'll just make it thicker. All right, that looks a little better on there. And then down to the 90-minute. Do we have any bullish divergence recently? It's going to cause price to continue to rise. There might be a chance for hidden bullish right here, but let's see. For hidden, we need, well, there you go. That would be hidden bullish. And any bearish divergence that it had been played out and canceled, or maybe that's why it's going sideways, because you got bearish divergence right here, then you have it's followed immediately by hidden bullish divergence. Price is going sideways. So yes, I still have to look for some bearish divergence to kick the price down, because it is, I mean, it's kind of coming up. So anybody got any questions about anything else? I'll show you all another thing that I'm looking at, and I'll show you while we're here on this chart, why I think we're in a big consolidation pattern. Today. Here to here. I mean, you could look at this pattern like this and look at it like this. This is kind of how I'm looking at it. Because I think whenever I first did it, we're gonna do it out on the daily. Where'd my line go? When I first did it, I did it like this, maybe. I don't remember. I did it on regular candles. But this is kind of what I think, the pattern that I kind of think that we're in.
What's going on, baby?
Got it on regular candles. Yeah, because it was from here to here. Actually, there it is. From here to here. Oh. I'll just go there. That's the pattern I think we're in. Bottom for support, top for resistance. I shorted up here. And here's the funny thing about that pattern. If you look at this, put a horizontal line right there through the center of it. Look right here where that line is. Look how it touched there. Came up, bounced, got rejected, came down. When it went up here, it came down and it bounced off of it. So we could get a bounce right here and go up, or we could come through it, hit it, come up, bounce off, hit it, and then come up. Like I said, I just wanted to take a real simplistic look at everything and test out some things with the chat and add in all those widgets or whatnot and see if they work. But if nobody has any questions or anything that they want me to look at, or even if you do think of something after the stream, just send me a message in Discord and I will take a look at it. I might talk about it in the next stream, or like I said, I'll learn it if I don't know it. But thank y'all everybody for coming in. Chunk, Carl, I don't know who the person that's still watching. I know one of them's actually my YouTube, so I can see the chat. But I really appreciate all of y'all. Or whoever else might still be in here. Thank you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream.